And now she's sharing the highs and lows of her rise to pop culture stardom in her new memoir, Famesick. Please welcome Lena Dunham.
Lena, this is now your second book, and you named it Famesick.
Yes.
So tell us a little about the title.
Well, I think that, so the book is very much about the way that my experience of public attention intersected with my experience of chronic illness, and the way that the two both aggravated each other and kind of, you know, mingled in ways that were challenging. And I think also I wanted to touch on the idea that fame is a sickness in certain ways. I think we see regularly the way that it distorts the world around us, and you all have experiences of that, and we all have images of that we see in the media every day. And so I wanted to sort of give an inside look, because I also think there are so many young people who aspire to fame as a value.
Yes.
And fame isn't a value, it's a condition.
Yeah,
That's a
great way to put it.
And it's not to say I feel so lucky that I get to do this job. My mom will let you know I'm not equipped for any other job. I was fired from them all. So I feel so blessed, and it's not to kind of create a victim narrative around it, but I did want to delve into the complexity of it in a way that was hopefully honest.
Well, Lena, I'm the biggest Girls fan. It ran for 6 seasons. You created it, directed it, starred in it. I am a Hannah, so I identify with you so much.
Thank you so much. There are some of us out there, and we just have to live with that.
You just have to deal with us, exactly. But you so brilliantly captured, you are the voice of a generation, the millennial experience, and I have to say the show gets better rewatching it as I get older. You realize how brilliant it is. But this shot you to superstardom at 24 years old. A lot of pressure and expectation comes with that. What was it like dealing with that whirlwind around Girls when it first came out?
You know, I think one of the things that I want, firstly, I do need to note that the voice of a generation line was a joke. And well, that's followed me. I think some people thought that I was seriously giving myself that title, and I would
But I would give you that title.
Well, thank you. If she says it, then I've got to go with it.
Exactly.
But, you know, I think something that I also wanted to get into in the book is I think that this is a condition that a lot of young women experience, who are famous or not, which is feeling that you need to be sort of unimpeachably great at your job, like that you need to run 3 times as fast as the boys in the room to get where you want to go. And so then you're dealing with this real dissonance between who you are on the job and who you are at home and in your life, which is someone who's still forming.
Yeah.
And those things weren't always happy bedfellows. I was obsessed with the work, and I loved the work, and I still do. But I was catching up to who I was professionally, personally. I still lived with my parents. The first time I came on The View for the show, I had gotten in a car right from mom and dad's house. Like,
Well, you were 24.
yeah, I was. I mean, I know that's still a little old, but
It's not really. I have a 23-year-old, and that's not old at all.
yeah. And it's crazy now. I'm going to be 40 in a month.
Congratulations.
Don't tell.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I am thrilled. But I didn't understand how young I was until I got older, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, wait till you hit menopause, then you'll understand.
Honey, if you read the book, you'll know that I'm already there.
I was going to say, you were already there, because your health journey has been a very difficult one, and you're very honest about it in the book. As your success was rising, as you mentioned, it dovetailed with worsening mental and physical health problems you'd been having, which were often brushed aside by people that you worked with, people in your life, as well as medical professionals, which is a story that we hear too often about women. What have you realized about the impact that that had on you?
I think that, and again, it was important to me to find the connections between my experience and the universal experience. And I have spoken to so many women who have dealt with health problems, not just gynecological, but that is an area that society isn't necessarily excited to chat about. And the amount of women who are told, this is what it's just like to have your period, this is what it's like to have a body, you better get used to it, like prizing your fertility above your everything else, not even wondering if you want to have a child or if it's a choice you want to make.
You're not really in that much pain, are you?
Are you? And also, we do still, even though it's not the 1800s anymore, we treat women who report these symptoms as hysterical.
Yes.
And it's there are statistics that let you know that women receive less pain treatment than men for more severe conditions. Black women receive the least pain treatment of anyone in this country.
Yep.
And it is deeply important that we bring this to light and that we normalize this so that, I was in a position of having great resources and I still couldn't get the help I needed. And so I think about people who are out there who are uninsured. I'm thinking about all of you. My greatest wish is that in my lifetime, I can see and be part of bringing about a health system that is treated as a right and not a privilege.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, wouldn't it be nice to find a speculum that was warmed by itself?
Amen.
See, we're still using medical speculums.
Oh.
It's like...
I could do a whole thesis on my relationship to the speculum.
It is, it's an insane thing. And
I
guys,
was in
if
an
you don't know
intimate
what we're talking
relationship
about...
with a speculum for a long
Yeah.
time.
If you're with a woman, she will explain what we're talking about.
Oh.
For the gentlemen
old
who don't know
tongs.
what it means, but it's
When
no
I
joke.
first met my husband, I asked him what he thought the gynecologist did, and he said, "Is it a bit like the dentist where they just clean things up?"
And this
But he
is
knows
why you
now.
have to get Lena's book.
He knows now.
Famesick is
Educating the
available
world, one person at a time.
wherever you get your books and audio books. Now you can scan the QR code on your screen to pre-order it. Do yourself a favor. Do it. The girl continues to make you laugh. And make you cry, but really make you laugh a lot.